Learning from Leaders. And actually, this is the second part of this show, and really thankful that you guys tuned in. Today, I'm talking to Terry Painter, who is the founder of ApartmentLoanStore.com. As the name implies, it's getting loans for apartments or multi-family dwellings. It's a little different proposition than what we'd normally talk about on Learning from Leaders, but we really wanted to give the people that are looking for $1 million plus in loans a tool, a vessel for them to get their projects funded. As most of you know, the liquidity in America is dried up to a massive degree. It's very difficult to get loans. But Terry has a way for those looking for their projects to get funded to make that happen. I'm really thankful. Terry, thanks for being on the air.
Thank you.
I want to go into some of the mistakes or some of the pitfalls that people would have in trying to fund $1 million project. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you run into?
Well, probably the number one pitfall is that most borrowers, prospective borrowers, do not realize how serious the state of this economy is. When we hear that, but they don't really realize how much it's affected commercial lending.
Right.
And they pretty much are going back to their local banks, and the banks will perhaps tie up the deal for a couple of weeks to maybe even a couple of months, and then either come up with something totally different than what they want or not be able to do the loan at all. There's been over 70 bank failures in our country as of now, and banks are really scared to lend money. It's not that a lot of them do have money to lend, but they'd rather keep it on their balance sheet so it looks good to their stockholders than lend it out, even with all the stimulus money that they've received. So what happens is that it's really important for a borrower to actually know exactly what they're capable of as far as getting something financed, and we're really good at helping you do that. We're not going to waste your time. We're going to know exactly where to place your loan, so that, or we're just going to tell you it cannot be done at this time. We're going to tell you that you need to get a partner,
right,
to get this done, or that you need to wait till your credit score gets up. But for the most part, just not really knowing your own capacity is a problem. Also, going to residential mortgage brokers, it's not to say that they're not very good at what they do, but if they have, even when I started, I used to brag that I had 200 lenders, and that was not an asset. Actually, it's the relationship you have with that lender, knowing where to place that loan, having the relationship with the underwriters and the credit decision makers, the credit administrators, that is going to get the loan done.
Well, isn't it all about bringing good deals, right? I mean, in that industry,
yes,
you got to have a track record and a knack for finding good things that lenders.
Yeah, this is an excellent right. This is an excellent time to actually acquire multifamily apartment properties, because it is finally a buyer's market.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a seller's market for years. But keep in mind that commercial loans are made first off primarily. In fact, they always to the quality of the income of the property, the quality of the property as well. But in this day and age, with our financial crisis, the borrower is also equally as important. And so, anyway, it's really important when you go for a loan to know what your capacity is for the loan that you want, and to make sure that you're going to qualify.
What are some of the success stories you guys have had? I know you guys have done some tremendous things when it comes to finding a loan for somebody and then actually making that deal come through.
Yeah.
What's been a couple of
Well,
things?
I'll tell you what, I have, surprisingly, there's a book called The Maui Millionaires by Diane Kennedy and David Finkel, and it's a really fun book to read. Actually, 4 of my clients are actually featured in that book, and they're all multimillionaires. And one of my favorite ones, her name is Kelly Fabros, and she actually started out, she was an LAPD officer, and amazing lady. She calls me one day and tells me she wants to buy a $6.3 million apartment building, and I told her, "You've got to be kidding. How are you going to do that? How much money do you have?" And she actually did have some savings, but what she was able to do, actually, she brought in a partner, an executive from Intel that actually had big bucks and was able to, and a few more people. And what I've really learned from her is that when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, and that's what I love about my clients, is that you couldn't tell her no. And no was not in her vocabulary. Now, it's a bit harder to do that today with the economy the way it is, but for those of you who think that maybe you cannot do this, but you have the burning desire and you found the property and the property cash flows, and it's a winner, we'll help you, take a look at what you need to bring in as far as perhaps another partners or whatever.
So that's a real key, that the the deals that are being done, you're saying they're cash flowing very, very. I mean, like they're, how do I say that? They have a good cash flow right from the get go.
Well, for the most part, and this is a time where you could actually buy a property for a good price that's good at cash flow. I do have some clients, and we are working on several rehab properties, apartments that are being rehabbed, but that's kind of like a moving target. Quite often, they, just like if you remodeled your home, they take longer and they cost more money. And for an apartment complex, if it's going to take a lot longer to fill, or take a lot longer to build, it's going to cost you a lot more money. So there's more risk involved in that. Unless you have experience doing rehab, I would not recommend it. And it's not necessary in this marketplace because you could find a good deal that's on a property that's already cash flowing.
So creativity is a real important factor in getting deals done. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. But also the number one reason why businesses fail is because of poor management, and the number one reason why apartment complexes or commercial properties fail is because of poor management. So you do need to know what you're doing and get some good management and find a property if you find a property that's already cash flowing, that's the key.
And what are you looking for people that are in fire sales of a sort, or is it just looking for deals that are up on the market? I mean, what are some of the keys there?
Well, a lot of our clients are very good at actually finding properties that are undervalued. Some of them do get REO properties that are being sold by banks, and the bank is willing to take a haircut. And perhaps there is only 70% occupancy because the property has not been has been abandoned by the seller or owner. And that borrower knows that he has the capacity, the ability to actually get the occupancy up, and he's getting it for a good price, and we could help them achieve that. We have an absolutely magnificent loan, the very best product out there for acquiring properties or rehabbing properties, or actually even building new apartment loans.
Right.
And it's a 35-year fixed rate mortgage, and it's it's great rate, and the loan is fixed, fully amortizing for 35 years. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So as we're coming down to this next break, I want to make sure, what would you like people to do? Actually,
the best thing to do is just to call us, talk to one of our loan professionals, and we will pre-qualify you and let you know what your capacity is. It's really important to know that. Or you could go online and fill out one of our questionnaires, and we'll get back to you.
So very good. So you go to the apartmentloanstore.com at the 866-811-9515 and just talk to you guys and get they have a form or something they fill out?
Yes. Actually, what we have to do is we actually have to, in about 5 minutes, if you talk to us, we're actually going to pre-qualify you, the borrower. We're going to hopefully pre-qualify the income of the property and also the quality of the property.
Oh, so you guys have a pretty good knowledge base of the apartment complexes all over the country, because you're qualified in all 50 states, right?
Right, that's true. We do as mortgage bankers, we lend in all 50 states, and we actually do have a database that we subscribe to that gives us quite a bit of market data in just about everywhere.
Just about anywhere. That's great. So if you're looking for a loan that is over $1 million, obviously for some sort of multi-family dwelling type of thing, then you really do want to talk to Terry and his crew. They've got some great loan officers from around the country that are willing to look at your situation, figure out exactly what the best process for you is to get the funding that you need. Now, obviously, in this type of industry, it's probably, you got to understand, it's a little harder to get the money. But that's what Terry and their crew really do, is give you the yes or no answer from the beginning. Yes, it can be done. No, it can't be at this time, or what's needed. And then exactly what you need to do from there so that they can help you get where you want to go, which is your project funded. We'll be right back after this break.